So Francesca, we're here at this amazing women's event for empowerment. How are you feeling?
Really excited. Yeah, so excited to be here. I haven't been to LA for many years, so it's super exciting.
Oh, that's wonderful. And are we going to be having a little preview of some of your Cartier collection?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be giving a little talk about a bit about the journey I've been on, the book I've written, and we have got some fantastic jewels here on display as well, so that were made under my family, which are really spectacular. A real treat.
That's wonderful. And also, you have your own personal endeavors that you work on, correct?
Yes, yeah. Well, I wrote this book. You know, I've been kind of researching my family for about 15 years, traveling all over the world, going literally everywhere: India, Sri Lanka, pearl diving in the Persian Gulf, and yeah, the outcome of all that research and interviewing hundreds and hundreds of people was my book, which kind of encompasses 100 years of my family and how they started from nothing and how they built up this business through revolutions. And, you know, we just lived through a pandemic and that was hard enough. They did one pandemic, 2 world wars, the Great Depression, revolutions, and they kind of kept going. So that was really fascinating to find out how, really.
And where can people find the book?
Oh, it's everywhere. It was actually... It came out actually just before lockdown, but then I was meant to come here for a big launch, and then obviously everything got cancelled. But it was actually a bestseller in LA when it came out, so I'm very grateful to LA readers over here.
We love Cartier, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, there we go. It helps.
And what's the name of the book?
It's called The Cartiers.
That's a good title.
It is. I should have one with me, shouldn't I, to kind of show.
Well, have fun, and thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Here we are with Shalini. How are you doing tonight?
I'm so happy to see so many gorgeous, talented, smart, brilliant women, including you. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Yeah. So tell us about this event.
This is the launch of Power Beauty Living. It's a women's platform I launched in 2016 to empower women in business, beauty, and balance. We realized there was not enough mentorship for women by women. We also realized that in traveling the world, that beauty is truly a universal language, and I personally believe that confident women can change the world. And when you look good, you feel good, as you know. And then on the balance side, it's really what are you doing on a daily basis so you've got that warrior mentality. We started skilling girls that are underprivileged in the slums and villages to give them vocational training, livelihood enablement, and to help break the cycle of poverty. But we realized that women, no matter their socioeconomic status, were all interested in becoming financially empowered and just living a better life. And so we're really excited to actually now launch as a nonprofit so we can truly scale the impact all over the world. And we have been so blessed to have so much support from such a dynamic group of women from Wall Street to Hollywood to business and corporate to come together tonight to support this event.
Yeah, it's really exciting. You have so many amazing women. You have people from all over the world, you know, all areas of life, and it's just, and obviously Francesca Cartier.
Francesca Cartier,
yeah.
Yes. Francesca Cartier Brickell is here to give us a sneak peek behind the Cartier empire. Her story is amazing. I met her in London a few years back, and we talked about bringing her to LA. And so we are just so excited to not only hear her story, but she brought in some beautiful, rarely ever seen Cartier vintage jewelry flown in from Monaco. And so it's just going to be a treat to hear her story. We also have the U.S. Olympic Committee coming tonight with 2 gold medalists, 1 para-Olympian and 1 track and field medalist as well. And we're launching the Pass The Baton campaign through Ready, Set, Jet. It's a beauty brand that I launched with a mission to truly use beauty as a vehicle for change. So when one woman passes the baton to another, it's not just a beauty stick, but it's a symbol of empowerment, mentorship, strength, resilience, and uniting as one very strong tribe and community so we can rise together.
I love it. And where can people find out more information or join the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. PowerBeautyLiving.org. We have a lot of programs, again, on skilling, vocational training, and also working with victims of sex trafficking to really help them get back on their feet. And you can follow us on Instagram at Power Beauty Living, and then, of course, you can pass the baton at ReadySetJetOfficial.com.
Love it. Well, have fun tonight. You look beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So here we are at this amazing Empowering Woman event, and tell us your name.
Hermos Parsa.
Carmen Parsa.
And you're lending a very special element to this event tonight. Tell us what you're doing today.
Absolutely. I'm bringing 101 vodka, the best vodka that ever touched your lips. We are providing it for the evening. Shalini is a great friend, so we're happy to promote this event and be part of this whole thing.
Yeah, and can you tell us a little bit about how you founded this vodka brand?
Oh, wow, that's a long story. It started back in 2009. I was going to med school. Med school didn't work out for me. Got back into business. Started a distillery. Started from scratch and slowly built the office up. And now we're here today.
And it's kind of a faith-based vodka as well, right?
It is. We think, faith is involved in a lot of things. And, a good drink here and there brings out better thoughts.
Love that. And then you also have a business as well, don't you?
Yes, it's a hair Botox for women. It takes away frizz and restores your hair, and yeah, that's something I'm starting to do for women. Yeah.
And where can people find you?
You could find me on Instagram or just text me if you're interested. Eventually, I want to bring out an at-home kit where women can just do it at home as well. Yeah.
Love that. That's great. Well, have fun tonight. Thank you.
All right.
Where can we find your vodka again?
Well, right now, everywhere in South Orange County. If you have a distributor for me, we'll be everywhere.
And then you're online where? At
www.101vodka.com, or follow us on hashtag 101vodka or our Instagram at 101vodka.
You wanted to talk about one of your initiatives, correct?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I'm a publisher of the Immigrant Magazine. It's about the immigrant experience, and right now my most fervent project is the Stop Hate. I'm sure you've heard of the Stop AAPI Hate. Remember how everybody's been experiencing all kinds of prejudice and hate, and I'm actually championing, my company is championing Stop Hate within the black immigrant community, because black immigrants oftentimes feel invisible in the movement for social justice, and a lot of times things happen to black immigrants and nobody's aware that things are happening. So we're actually driving a campaign born out of the Stop the Hate against AAPI hate, Stop LGBTQ hate, Stop anti-Semitism, all the kinds of hate. So we are trying to do that advocacy for black immigrants, and that includes Afro, Latinos, Caribbean immigrants, and immigrants from the continent of Africa.
And where could we find information about it?
Actually, the information is on our website at www.immigrantmagazine.com. However, we want to tell all Californians, if you experience hate, are a victim of hate, go to California versus Hate and report it. It's really important that we report hate whenever we experience hate. And this is an initiative that is being actually curated by the California State Library, California Department of Social Services, and actually signed by the governor. So this is not something that is taken lightly.
Tell us your name.
My name is Riley.
And tell us what you're doing here tonight.
I am just here to enjoy and have fun and meet new people. So I'm so excited to be here. It's so much fun.
What do you do? Are you an actress?
I am in reality TV. Yes. Yep.
Okay. Can you tell us what show, or you're not allowed?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm allowed. I was on the latest season of Big Brother 25. Yes.
I need to watch more TV.
That is okay. A lot of people don't know what it is, but
I know what it is, just haven't had a chance to watch lately. But so how did it go for you?
it was good. I met a ton of new people. This is my third time to California ever, so I get to see and meet new people and see new places. So it was so much fun. I absolutely had a blast. I wish I could do it again. Yeah.
Well, have fun tonight. And where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Riley Smedley. I'm also on TikTok at Riley's TikTok.
Tell us your name.
Fazia Mirza.
And tell us what you do.
I'm a writer-director. Yeah.
Are you working on anything in particular that you can talk about?
I do. I made my feature directorial debut, The Queen of My Dreams. It world premiered in Toronto at TIFF. It was at the BFI London Film Festival, and we're excited for its U.S. premiere in 2024.
That is wonderful. And where can people find information about you?
You can go to my website, www.faziamirza.com, or follow me on Instagram at The Foz.
And how would people spell that?
THEFAWZ.
Well, have fun. Thank you
So much.
So, Vincent DePaul, how are you doing today?
This is the happiest time of the year for me because it's the holidays, and I'm so always filled with joy when I'm here in Los Angeles. So,
Yeah, so what have you been up to? You've been kind of busy.
wow! So it's the release of The Genius of Gianni Versace Alive, the film I directed about Gianni and his great contributions to the fashion, music, and film world. It's on Amazon Prime. It won the Visconti Award in Milan, and I'm so thrilled and enthusiastic about the film. We just played at the Italian Embassy in Washington, D.C., and at the Italian Embassy, they showcased the movie and spoke a lot about Gianni Versace and how he was such a great made-in-Italy designer, and so that was great. And also, another holiday film, Christmas Couples Retreat, which will be out on Maryland Public Television on December 17th, 3 o'clock in Maryland. And there's negotiations in the works. It may go on to a channel called HITZ, H-I-T-Z, Christmas Couples Retreat, with an amazing ensemble cast. Let me see if I can remember everyone. Vanessa Meadows, Christine Marie, Tony DiVirgilio, Dana Marie, Karina Michelle Feld, Brandon Tyler Russell of Grey's Anatomy, Leah Vallone, and Sherry Taylor. Wow, there's many more. Marla Wapner, Irv Becker, but it's a great cast.
Love that, Vincent. Well, where can people find you on social media?
Vincent DePaul 12 on Instagram and Vincent DePaul 21 on Twitter.
Always looking dapper. Have fun.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and celebrate this great time in this beautiful home and meeting with all the people here. So this is wonderful.
My name is Colleen Quigley.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I represented Team USA in 2016 in Rio in the sport of track and field. Still competing currently and trying to go in 24 in Paris.
That's wonderful. And how has this been, this journey for you?
Oh, so many ups and downs. 2016 was a realization of a family dream. Like my whole family, basically all of them are runners and all wanted to go to the Olympics and never did. And so when I achieved that, it was a family goal realized. And that was in a high, but actually in the past few years I've been struggling a lot with injury and really having a tough time figuring out the health of my body to be able to compete at the level that I know I'm capable of. So that's been a tough part of the journey, and looking forward to an Olympic build. An Olympic year is always really exciting, extra motivation, just excitement around an Olympic year. So 2024, here we go.
Here we go. So where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm at Steeple Squigs on social media. I compete in the steeplechase, and my last name being Quigley, I go by Steeple Squigs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So, Carol, I know you're from Vogue, correct?
Yes. Well, I specialize. I'm an author and broadcaster, and I've been attached to Vogue magazine for many years. Yes, and but jewelry is my subject. That's what I talk about, and actually through what I do, I try and inspire young people to come into the jewelry industry and help them and give them a chance to make jewelry. We do this in the UK, and so I'm thrilled to be here to support Shalini in her quest to help young women and empower them. It's so important.
Oh, it is so important. What are you looking forward to today? Obviously, the Francesca Cartier's book, and she's going to tell us a little of the history, but also some rare vintage jewelry is going to be here.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Some rare vintage jewelry is going to be here.
Oh, it's fantastic. And this is what I love about jewelry, is that it's they're objects from the past that talk about other lives and how people have lived and the fashions of the time. And somehow it always stays totally relevant. But I think we can learn a lot about it. And I was just saying that I'm here partly to see an exhibition at the Natural History Museum of 100 carat stones. There's a whole collection of about 24 100 carat wonders, nature's miracles thrown up from the earth, and that's really something fantastic to see.
And And where can people find out more about you?
Me, I am. I've written 8 books, and if they Google me, Carol Walton, and they can find my podcast, If Jules Could Talk, with Carol Walton, and I love people to listen and send me messages and tell me what they want to hear about. So that's the best place.
Thank you. We're so honored you're here, and have fun today.
I did. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to the party tonight.
Well, here we are with Sofia Milos. Tell us how you're feeling today.
I'm feeling fantastic. Finally, it's getting busy. We've had, months and months of strikes between the WGA and the Screen Actors Guild strike. The year has gone by with projects that have been moved to next year, so I think everybody's excited, getting busy to look at the projects again for next year, January, February, March. It seems to be very busy, and I can finally promote the show that came out the day before the strike, which we couldn't at the time. So please check out season 2 of Gravesend. I co-star with William DeMeo, who helms the show and did an amazing job to bring together this extraordinary cast with Chas Palminteri, who you love from The Bronx Tale and so many things, Vincent Pastore as well from The Sopranos. We have quite a few people that came in from The Sopranos actually. Armando Sante, who's just unbelievable. Andrew Dice Clay, love him in it. William Forsythe, a class act. Mario Cantone from Sex and the City. Fran Drescher, our nanny and the president of this incredible contract that we finally achieved. And there is, I'm sure I'm forgetting Marty Cove. I'm telling you, I'm forgetting people. We're 12 of us, but go check it out. Amazon Prime. It's called Gravesend, and it's an 80s Brooklyn mafia series. You'll see me with big hair, big hoops, and with a Brooklyn accent.
Well, we love that. That's so wonderful. And where can people find you on social media?
My Instagram is Sofia Milos with an F, and you can find me on Facebook page. Both of them are verified. I know there's a lot of fakes out there. I try to get them out because they seem to be asking my friends and followers and fam things that I would never ask them. So please be careful. Just find my page and my Instagram. Thank you. Thank you for your love and support always. You mean the world to me. Mwah.
And also, I forgot you were just part of Aspiring magazine, right?
Yes.
You're on the cover.
It's the holiday issue, December, January cover feature and the back cover. People seem to really enjoy the back cover. And an interview, a lovely interview inside. So thank you to Aspire Magazine.
Well, have fun. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to all of you.
So Sandra, tell everyone your full name.
Sandra Santiago.
And tell us how you're feeling at this amazing woman empowerment event.
Oh my God, so many gorgeous people, so many diamonds. My goodness, gorgeous place, gorgeous people. I'm love to be here.
And are there any projects you're working on that you can talk about?
Yes, I just showed some episodes for Pepito's America. It's a comedy. I have another comedy that is it's already there, that is coming next year. I just produced a short film, The Life Force, and I have another project that is coming that I'll get more information next year. Yes.
You know what? Would you like to talk to your audience like in Spanish and tell them happy holidays?
Y feliz Navidad a todas esas personas hermosas que nos están viendo, y les deseo lo mejor y que se la pasen una feliz Navidad y un próspero año nuevo con su familia y sus amigos. Los quiero mucho.
I love that. So happy holidays, and where can people find you on social media?
You can find me in all the platforms. Sandra Santiago, happy holidays, feliz Navidad.
Okay, so here we are at this amazing Empowering Woman event, and you're Natasha, correct?
Yes.
And Larry Neighbor.
That's me.
And so first of all, tell us about this amazing dress.
Well, it was custom made for me, inspired by Cartier. So it was designed with the idea of this unveiling of the jewels. So I'm very excited for tonight.
I love that. That's beautiful. And you're also a host, I heard.
Yes, I am. I'm a TV host, motivational speaker, and Larry and I have something very exciting coming up.
We're going to, if you haven't noticed, there are no women in late night television in this country. And Natasha and I have developed a late night talk show that's more inspirational and motivational than people are used to seeing. So early next year, you'll see it on TV.
Well, we love that. So, so what kind of motivational speaking is it? Is it just empowering women that you work on?
Oh yeah, I speak all over the world on stages to tens of thousands of people every week, where I'm empowering people and motivating through my words, my books, my teachings, and the show will be no different, just a little bit more risque.
We love it. Well, have fun. We're so happy you were here. And where can people find more information about you?
Everywhere online, my name, Natasha Graziano. You'll find it.
And Larry?
I do my food blog on Facebook, so check that out.
Well, thank you so much. Have fun. Tell us why you're here tonight.
Well, I'm here to support Shalini, and I'm an investor in Ready, Set, Jet. But I'm really also incredibly invested in women empowering other women and community, and I love that this is a worldwide community. So that's near and dear to my heart, and I think it's really, really important for the fiber of our society to just embrace that.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you tell us a little bit about your organization and what you do?
I'm a functional medicine health coach and an entrepreneur in wellness, and I'm really excited about people becoming more empowered about their own wellness, their own health, especially their emotional well-being, their purpose, all of that. So it's really well aligned with this.
I love that. And where can people find information about you?
Probably the easiest is Instagram, Michelle Gillette _ and Michelle Gillette Coaching.
Well, have fun tonight. You look beautiful. Have fun.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So here we are with Alpesh, and tell us your last name.
It's Kadakia.
That's great. And so what an amazing event at an amazing location. So tell us a little bit about Power, this event, and what it means to you today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity to kind of provide our venue, our home for this amazing purpose, this cause, Power Beauty Living. Ready, Set, Jet is a phenomenal platform for really empowering females and a wonderful beauty product. And Shalini and Tony are good friends, and my wife's been very closely involved with them. And so this was an opportunity for us to kind of just collaborate and do something fun.
That's great. And is it on social media? Can people find information about it? Where would they look?
Yeah, that's a great question. And my wife, Rajul, is probably the right person to know all the different venues. But yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot, Facebook. I know there's pages up there, but yeah, that's a great place to start.
Celebrate the launch of Power Beauty Living as a 501c3 and the great work that it will do to empower women, young girls around the world in education, skill set enablement, all kinds of amazing things as well. It's so wonderful to see amazing faces here that I've seen for years. Back in my days of Access Hollywood, some good old friends when I used to host that show, some new friends as well. So it's for us, it's really important that you are here. You could be anywhere on the planet tonight, and you chose to be here. And I know some of you were in other places on the planet 24 hours ago, and you kicked some ass to get here. So we really, really appreciate it. We have an incredible, fast-paced evening for you tonight. One of the things I want to tell you is that with Power Beauty Living and the foundation, it's doing such incredible work, and to have you all here as a collective body with such incredible energy is really an honor. For those of you who don't know, I'm Tony Potts. I am the co-founder. The drinks clearly been flowing. I'm the co-founder of Ready, Set, Jet Beauty, and we are extremely honored to partner with Ready, Set, Jet. with Power Beauty Living and its mission. And it's one of the things that, for me, is very endearing. I've seen the work behind the scenes to get this to where it is. I want to say a couple shout-outs to Rajul and Alpesh for opening their home, this amazing home. It's December in Los Angeles. Here we are. So thank you for that. Also, JP Morgan coming on as a sponsorship, as a partner as well. JP Morgan, thank you very much, Michelle. Look forward to what we can do in 2024 together as well. And also one of the things I want to thank, if you look around at everything that's going on, Veronica Prenza is the event coordinator, and she has worked her butt off to make sure you guys are all enjoying yourselves. Are you enjoying yourselves? Yeah. So thank you, Veronica, for that.
You're welcome.
We're also thrilled to have our honored guest tonight, Francesca Cartier Brickell. She's amazing. She has written an incredible book. She has a story that she's going to tell you that changed her life, which is indicative for, I've learned, for a lot of women. She was trying to find something for her grandfather, and she'll tell this a little bit later, probably better than me. She went to find something for her 90-year-old grandfather, and as she was mucking about, she found an old chest, and she started looking at it, and it had her, I think, her great-grandfather's initials on it. When she opened it up, what she found changed her life forever. And she is here tonight. She will tell you that story in a few minutes. It's absolutely incredible. By the way, over there, I don't know if you've seen a bunch of burly men, security men, she has flown in jewels that are rarely seen by the public just for tonight. So that will open up after we're done with our presentation. And also, she will be signing her book in there as well. One of the great things, all the proceeds from her book signing are 100% are going to go towards Power Beauty Living tonight as well. So thank you. And also, one more thing, our friends at the Four Seasons in Maui, I don't know if you've ever been to Maui, you've been to the Four Seasons. They have donated a silent auction item tonight. And it is a 5-day, 4-night stay at an oceanfront 1-bedroom suite in Maui. So if you want to help us out a little bit, that would be awesome. That's over there as well. It's $39,000 value, and Four Seasons has said they will give every penny of our silent auction tonight to Power Beauty Living to kick off as well. One more thing of note, I'd like to thank Yogesh Kali. Yogesh has donated $10,000 for us tonight, so thank you, Yogesh, as well. He's also on the board. He's a huge factor behind Power Beauty Living, so thank you for everything that you do, and your amazing daughters who are over here as well. And now, for me, this is a bit emotional, but it is incredible. I have seen a woman have this dream to empower young girls and women in ways that she experienced not having female mentors around and going through what a lot of female business people and mentors go through when they try to build businesses, and it's in a man's world. And she vowed a long time ago to do something about it. And on that journey, she was able to launch a platform for women on the floor of the United Nations in front of 300 world leaders. Because of that, because of her work in beauty and in female empowerment, she was presented by the British and Indian governments with the Mahatma Gandhi Award at the UK British House of Lords. And in addition to that, Prime Minister Modi of India, his office, awarded her with the Jewel of India Award, which is the highest honor you can have for a non-resident Indian. For you Indians, obviously you know it's NRI. But I had to explain that I had to explain the acronym for the folks that don't understand that. And it is my honor to introduce and welcome to the stage on this wonderful night the CEO, the founder of Ready, Set, Jet, and Power Beauty Living, Shalini Vadhera.
I truly have the best husband, you guys.
You weren't supposed to tell him that I was your husband. They would think you know.
And I call him Mr. Potts because he is just truly someone that is so unconditional in supporting my mission and quest in empowering women. I started Power Beauty Living because at 19, my father put me on a plane to India and gave me $2,000 and told me to start my own company. And of course, I hysterically cried the entire flight thinking they were secretly arranging my marriage because I was a very naughty girl. But when I got to India, I realized that it was my opportunity to start as an entrepreneur. As a solo female founder and someone that grew up in a small city and in a very sheltered world, There was no resources, a lack of mentorship, and I really had to learn the hard way. I faced an enormous amount of gender bias, sexual harassment, I mean, you name it, and went through a very egregious experience with my first company that I built with so much passion that when I came out of that, now this is, when I tell this story in New York, they're like, wow, you're from LA, but it's really what happened. When I moved to LA and I had come out of that experience, I was just devastated. I didn't know how to move forward or where to go. And I met a Korean master here in Los Angeles, and he blessed me. And my parents always taught us to take a blessing from everybody, so I was like, okay, I'll take the blessing. And about a year later, he called me and said, your purpose is coming at the speed of light. You need to come and see me right now. And thinking it was LA, I was like, absolutely, I'll come see you. And he's like, well, I'm in Sedona. So somehow I talked Tony into driving to Sedona, and he's like, you understand it's like 10 hours. I'm like, it's okay, let's drive. And on the way...
There are airplanes.
And on the way there, our car was struck by lightning. I mean, I just, honestly, it's what happened, and I got a crazy charge through the left side of my body, which left me looking a little funny for a while. But when I arrived in Sedona, the Korean master said to me, he said, everything you've gone through is for a reason. These are the 4 things I need you to do, which required hiking at night. So I don't hike, and I'm totally scared to do it at night because I didn't know what kind of wild animals were going to come after us. He said, the 5th thing is your homework. On Sunday, you'll know exactly what you need to do. And sure enough, whatever destiny and fate had for me, I knew on Sunday that I never wanted another woman ever to go through what I went through. And with all my heart and everything I had, I decided to launch a platform called Power Beauty Living. And we were going to focus on 3 B's: business, beauty, and balance. So business, mentorship for women by women. I needed to find the women out there that were truly going to empower the other women, and women, in a younger generation. From the beauty side, I wrote a best-selling book called Passport to Beauty, and I had an incredible opportunity to travel the entire world. And what I found was it didn't matter if I was in a village or in a slum or here in glamorous Beverly Hills, beauty was a universal language that every woman spoke. And I truly believe that confident women can change the world. So beauty is a big part of what I do. Because as you know, ladies, when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you've got this unmatched confidence or unmatched leverage in life. And then from the balance side, I really wanted to bring women the tools so they could have that warrior mentality on the inside. So no matter what was going on the outside, they could just kick ass and move forward. That is what got us started. I came back to LA. I decided to have a little event, and a lot of you guys came to my first event, so thank you, because here we are now years later. And I thought maybe 25 of my girlfriends would show up. We had about 175 women. And we started to just get a lot of requests to learn from top thought leaders, to have panels, to network, and to really build a community and a tribe. After receiving the Mahatma Gandhi Award, the British and Indian governments came to me and they said, we really need you to bring impact to this side of the world. Again, leaning into beauty as a beauty entrepreneur, and I know, Tracy, you can completely relate to this, I decided to launch a brand called Ready, Set, Jet, purely focused on a mission of using beauty as a vehicle for change. And it's been an incredible experience. We started, one, by just focusing on females to invest in the company. We're 90% female funded, which makes me very proud. And a lot of our amazing investors are here tonight, so thank you so much for coming to support. What we found through women investing in women was that these women were really willing to roll up their sleeves and help us. And it was incredible to not only see their dedication and their support, but also to see that a lot of these women were doing this for the first time. They had never invested. They were doing something independent of their husbands. They were doing something for their daughters. And there was a lot of women who actually couldn't even afford to invest, so we opened up a 70-day crowdfunding campaign, allowing any woman to come in for $100 to own equity in our company. And I really didn't understand the impact that was going to create. We get so many messages because for me, my goal was to level the playing field. And these women have come to us and said, because you allowed me to use the word investor on my LinkedIn, I was able to leave an abusive marriage, or I was able to finally be taken seriously in my career. And so we started to women wherever we could. Starting in the slums in India with girls that at the age of 15 are trafficked, they're married, or they become servants. To see the hunger in their eyes, to see them, meet them as COVID orphans, to meet them and have them be so proud to take us into their homes on dirt floors. But to see that they all had Instagram and they were all following Anastasia, this is just crazy. We know that beauty is this vehicle that's going to change their lives. We had the opportunity to vocationally train and skill them with the goal of not only giving them a livelihood, but breaking that cycle of poverty. So as we started doing that, the demand for impact grew and grew and grew to a point where we just couldn't do it any longer through Ready, Set, Jet. And as Tony mentioned earlier, Yogesh Kali, who is one of our investors, truly understood and embraced, this idea of let's deepen and scale this impact as big as we can, as far as we can, and took it upon himself to create Power Beauty Living into a nonprofit. So I'm very thankful, Yogesh, thank you very much. And I really want to say thank you to Rajul, another one of my investors, and someone who, again, just jumped on and said, let's go, and brought together this incredible host committee. I mean, these women are like the most dynamic powerhouse women I have ever met in my life. And I couldn't be more humbled, and I couldn't be more grateful, and I couldn't be more proud to be not only associated with all of you, but to be inspired by the work you do. These women came together and made tonight possible. So I'd love to invite all of them up. Okay, this is where you'll see that we are married.
I'm trying to produce this a little bit.
So one of our campaigns that we're launching through Ready, Set, Jet to support the Power Beauty Living Foundation is called Pass The Baton. We have a beauty baton that is not just a beauty stick, but it is a symbol of strength, empowerment, mentorship, resilience, and uniting women all over the world. And we have not only this beautiful host committee, and not only in impoverished areas, but for women all over the world that want to be financially empowered and united as a community. So thank you so very, very much for coming tonight and supporting us.
A round of applause for the host committee and the young girls in the generation of tomorrow. Thank you. Now get studying on your exams, okay? So one last thing, let's you go off the stage. No? I know I feel bad because I know they're cold, and I have 2 daughters, and I'm like, let's just let it be cold. So we have, and real quick, we want to hear from one of our committee members, Sarah Chen. Right?
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Sarah Chen Spellings. I'm proud to be on the host committee. On behalf of all of the host committee, we wanted to say a big thank you to all of you for being here today. The reason all of us, Tracy, Jacqueline, Sally, all of us came together around the table was because we knew what it's like. We've been through it. The bias, the disparity, the discrimination, the outright, sexism that exists today in our industry is very, very real. I launched the $1 Billion Fund for Women with one mission: to solve for the gender venture investment gap, where women still today get less than 3% of venture capital. And you just saw what the power, how powerful it is to have a female founder leading with passion. We saw that in the power that Shalini brings to the table. How can we not invest in women? Someone asked me this evening, why do we all come around the table to do this? Why women? And my question is, why not women? We're half the population. This is not a niche market. And I think if we unleash the potential that truly exists today, how amazing the world would be. Our world is poorer today because women are not getting the capital that they need, that they deserve. And we need to, all of us around the table, rally to get our power in the hands of the women who so deserve it, right? Who've worked hard to be where they are today. And usually I ask, I work with family offices, I work with investors all around the globe. We've just launched in Australia, we work with billionaires, so on and so forth. And I often say, what people always underestimate is the power that they have themselves. But looking around the room here today, a kind friend said, I don't think these people underestimate the power. But what it is how do you channel that power to do the right thing? Investing in women is not just the right thing to do, it's a smart thing to do. So my call to action to all of you here today is to ask, what can I do today to widen the table, to invite others to hear from them, to empower them, so that all of us can lead forward in the world that we deserve. And with that, invest in women, and congratulations to Power Beauty Living. We can't wait for the impact that you will scale together. Thank you.
Very well said. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Francesca Cartier Brickell. She's our guest of honor, international best-selling author of a book called The Cartiers, The Untold Story. First, she has traveled the world. She has spoken at some of the most prestigious events. And right now, I'd like you to put your hands together for Francesca Cartier Brickell. Francesca? Well, we're so important we have two mics.
Very confusing. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shalini, for inviting me. I met Shalini when my book first came out in London, and she came to my book launch, which was at Christie's, isn't it? And it was great, a bit chaotic. My kids were running around, and anyway, we met very briefly, and it's amazing when those meetings turn into something else. I would never imagined I'd be here. And thank you to all of you involved in this event, and Rajul and Apesh for your owning your amazing house for tonight, and to all of you for coming. I would never have imagined I would have been here a few years ago. So about 15 years ago, it was my grandfather's 90th birthday, and I was in the south of France with my family. We always spent the summers with him in his house in the south of France. And Grandpa was an amazing man. He was brilliant. He was the last of the Cartiers to manage the family firm. He ran the London branch. He was incredibly artistic. He was so modest. He never spoke about himself, and so generous. Like, he was the type of person that on his birthday he'd always rather give presents than receive them, which we never understood as kids. But on his 90th birthday he said, okay, I've got a special bottle of champagne, will you go and fetch it for me from the cellar? And I went down, and as Tony mentioned, I didn't find the champagne, but I did discover this trunk in the corner. And I saw it had the letters JC on it. They're my great-grandfather's initials. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. Unlikely to have the champagne, but my curiosity got the better of me. And I opened it, and inside were hundreds of letters dating back 150 years. I mean, it was more exciting to me than discovering a trunk of jewels, because those were the lives of my ancestors. It was my family over 4 generations. And as I discover, it told the story of not just ropes of pearls and incredible clients, everyone from the Queen of England to Grand Duchesses in Russia to Maharajas to Hollywood film stars. Incredible jewels, ropes of pearls, rubies as big as thumbnails, emeralds so fragile that the craftsman was given 48 hours off work, because he had to be totally calm when he cut the emerald. His hand couldn't shake, or it could have cut the emerald. It could have caused a split in the emerald. So as well as the story of the jewels, was the story of a family. And I think it's easy to forget now that Cartier is such a big, well-known name, but it started, it was a startup. The guy who started it, my great-great-great-grandfather, he had nothing. His mother was a washerwoman. His dad had been a prisoner in the Napoleonic Wars. He didn't have enough money to go to school. He had to go and be an apprentice. And he worked really hard, and he ended up buying his master's workshop, renaming it Cartier. Terrible timing, because the next year was a revolution. And it was really, really tough for 2 generations. But all of these stories were in the trunk, and I took it up to Grandpa and I said, Grandpa, I couldn't find the champagne, but look at this. And in there were even telegrams that were written to his parents on his birth exactly 90 years earlier, in 1919, just at the end of World War I, from other families, like other jewellery families, like the Van Cleef family would write to my great-grandparents saying, at last, a boy! 15 years of Cartier girls, which, as we all know, were hopeless for the family business. So it was an amazing story, and I thought, I can't just put this trunk back in the cellar. And so I spoke to Grandpa about it. And I was so lucky that he was still alive, because I could go through these stories with him. And he filled in the gaps in between the letters, and we decided that, I decided it'd be worth writing the story. So I left my job in the city, which I wasn't too sad to leave my job in the city. It was a very male-dominated world. It wasn't the nicest place to work. And I decided I was going to dedicate myself to researching the story. And for the next 10 years, I traveled all over the world. My poor kids, because every school holiday was another research trip. And I had all these old envelopes, tracking down addresses all over the world. And it was amazing, though. I found myself kind of having lunch in a palace in India with the Maharani, who was, the descendant of the Maharaja that my great-grandfather had met. And I showed her my great-grandfather's diaries, where he'd sketched jewels. And she was like, oh my God, I recognize that jewel. And she ran off, and she was able to go and get the exact turban ornament that he'd sketched 100 years earlier in the same palace. And I put it next to the sketch, and it was life-size. It's just like these incredible moments where you make these connections. And it was just felt very, very lucky. So at the heart of the story is really three brothers. Louis, the eldest, was this creative genius. He's the one who came up with the idea of using platinum. Like, we all think platinum is normal to use with diamonds now. Platinum was an industrial metal. He saw it underneath the train, and he was like, wow, what's that shiny metal? It looks strong. It looks flexible. And he started experimenting with it, and then before long he was making tiaras in platinum mats. He was the one who popularized the wristwatch for men. Up until that time, men had only wore pocket watches. Women had wristwatches. He had to change the whole mentality of this object. Then there was Pierre, the middle brother, who was a brilliant businessman. He's the one who exchanged the string of pearls for the New York mansion that's still Cartier in New York today on Fifth Avenue. He's the one who managed to sell a cursed diamond to Evelyn McLean, and that one sale put Cartier on the map in America. And then there was Jack, the youngest brother, my great-grandfather, who was like a gem hunter and went all over the world. And there were stories like he took his Rolls Royce to India and Nepal and would travel around. And when he was going to see the King of Nepal one time, they couldn't get the Rolls Royce over the Himalayas. So they had to literally take apart the Rolls Royce. And there are stories of like people carrying a door, carrying the steering wheel, carrying the gear stick, all over the Himalayas. And they put it back together the other side and drove off to meet the king. And he was going to see him to sell jewels, but in the end the king didn't even buy any of the jewels. And that's like, we think like getting on a plane is difficult these days, like what they had to do to sell these jewels all over the world. So it was an amazing journey for me, and it took me 10 years to write this book. And it's about those brothers, but it's also about the women behind the scenes. And I do think if it hadn't been for the women, the Cartier wives supporting their husbands, making the connections, they were so important in making the connections in New York society, London society. And also, of course, all the female clients. Cartier wouldn't have been anything without all the women. They were essentially, these men were making jewels for the women. So it's a story of many people, and the Cartiers had these two mottos. One was never copy, only create. The idea was you should take inspiration from everywhere, but never from existing jewelry. Always do something different. And the other motto was be very kind. And there was a very moving letter that was written in the late 19th century when the founder sent his son off to England. There was a terrible time in Paris. People were starving. He said, we can't sell jewels here. Go to England and sell our jewels in England. And the advice in the letter was just be very kind. Just like you are to us, whoever you meet, be very kind. And that was really a kind of family value, one that I think is still so relevant today and really summed up by you all here in this amazing charity. And yes, so I will be signing some books in there. I have got an amazing, some friends who are incredible Cartier dealers in London, and some of their pieces are on show there. We've shipped them out. You won't have seen them anywhere else. They are museum quality pieces. In fact, one of the pieces is actually currently in the Louvre in Abu Dhabi as well. There are only two of them, I think, in the world. One of them's here, one of them's in the Louvre. So I'm happy to tell you a bit about them. But those are all the pieces made under those three brothers and my grandfather. And I just thought we'd end with a very short little video, if we can get the tech working, which I'm sure we can.
Everybody, Francesca Cartier Brickell, thank you so much. She'll be there in a minute, and you can go in and see all the amazing jewels. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here. One last thing before the music comes back on and we do some dancing and what have you. We also wanted to mention that the U.S. Olympic Committee is here tonight. Jillian Fontaine and two amazing Olympic athletes are here as well. Two-time Paralympic bronze medalist Samantha Bosco is here. Woo-hoo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, it's fantastic. Also with us is a Rio Olympian, 9-time All-American, also an American champion in track and field. Colleen Quigley is here as well. Thank you so much. By the way, in your goodie bags tonight they have brought and put in there U.S. Olympic pins for Paris 2024. And those are hard to get, you can't even get them yet. So those are in there as well. We look forward to a collaboration in the future with the USOC and what it can bring. We're so honored that they believe in our mission of Power Beauty Living, and they are there for us and we are there for them. So thank you so much. Big round of applause everybody for everything. Shalini Vadhera as well, you want something to say? The wife always gets the last word, so I will acquiesce to the left.
Again, thank you. I just want to remind you that the silent auction for the Four Seasons Maui is on the dining table. So please take a look. And we are really proud to pass all of you a baton of empowerment for you to pass on to another woman. We have a beautiful build your own beauty activation at the end of this area. So for all you ladies out there that love beauty products, there are some fabulous things there. So please don't leave without doing that. And again, thank you so much for your support, and please enjoy the evening and enjoy Francesca's amazing jewelry that she brought in and meeting her. Thank you.
Everybody.